Welcome to Global Risk Community Chat, a new 10-minute segment we are introducing today. We are joined by Salih Ahmed Islam, and he has been a valuable community member who also shares great content with us. So welcome, Salih. I'm very pleased to have you here today with us.
Thank you very much. I'm also very pleased to have you here, and thanks for inviting me.
Yes, of course. Before we get into the topic, could you perhaps shortly introduce yourself to the audience about what you do, what your function?
Sure. Currently I live in Turkey. I'm 52 years old. I've been working in the field of internal audit for about 25 years, more than 25 years. I started my profession in Arthur Andersen. Then I worked in the textile industry, iron and steel industry, petroleum, construction, FMCG, and finally it is retail industries. Then I worked, I've been working for internal audit for over 25 years. I work mainly in Turkey, but the companies I work for was working internationally. So I had the opportunity to experience my profession in Middle East, Europe, and also in Far East. I've been working in the retail industry for the last 10 years. If you talk about the phases of my profession, where I started, how first I started, and what is now today, if I give you an example about it, when I first started my job, there was no internet, such thing as internet. So now we use all kinds of technologies in our profession and our daily life. This is the 25 years I can think of how far did the profession come from.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting. And of course, 25 years is a really long time, I believe, in internal audit. So what have you been up to lately then with internal audit? What are the latest, maybe trends or challenges you are currently facing?
First, when I first started the job, internal audit was considered as inspection and financial audit that time. But the profession came along a lot. So now we use all kinds of technologies, especially for detecting errors or detecting fraud in our profession. We use data analytics and artificial intelligence, there are softwares who integrates with the systems that we work in, ERPs that we work in our companies, like SAP, Oracle, or any kind of ERP. They integrate with them. So we have opportunity to detect some errors or fraud before it happens. So this is the main technological improvements that I can say for the last years in my profession. Other than that, of course, like I said, it was only financial audit that time. Our scope was only the accounting departments when I first started. But now there are a lot of things in the companies that we deal with. Mainly the risk concept was not considered as much that time, but now it is the future risk that we are facing in the companies, and we are dealing with those risks to minimize it, to mitigate it, and those type of things. This is the profession I can tell currently.
Yeah, and would you say that with internal audit you are ahead of other industries when it comes, like artificial intelligence and so on, or do you think that the industry is falling behind? Very shortly.
In my opinion, no. In my opinion, it's not there yet. I mean, still there are a lot of people in my profession. Still, they think about in traditional ways. In traditional ways of working, traditional ways of doing business, because like myself, we came in a certain age, we are experienced people. If we don't renew ourselves, we don't adapt to new technologies, we will leave ourselves behind the current developments, So in general, I can tell you that, especially in the West and in the United States, they are using new technologies for internal audit profession. But if we say in the current technological environment, we are not ahead of anything else. We are coming from behind.
Understandable, but hopefully, of course, it will get into a better state in the upcoming years, because we already see a lot of changes with all the digitalization, of course. If you could maybe tell one important thing an internal auditor or people that work closely with you, or with internal auditors should know, what would you ask them to focus on? What should they definitely start implementing?
I mean, sorry, there's a saying in my profession, don't make an autopsy, try preventive medicine. So we used to make autopsies a lot in our inspection days, but now we are trying to implement preventive medicine to try to avoid bad things happen before it's happening, So my advice to internal auditors, the new internal auditors, of course, to try to detect and try to, I mean, I can say, don't be a corporate policeman, be strategic advisors. People could come and talk to you very easily without any fear, It was not like that before. 20 years ago, people were not knocking our doors in the offices, and they were afraid to mail us and stuff like that. But now it's not like that. We are inside of the job. We are integrated to the all the processes, all with the management, with the leaders of the company. So if I can give advice to internal auditors, I can say is the creating value is more important, and how to say, to make sure that your objectives and plans are always aligned with the business objectives. Don't create any agenda other than your company goals, and be a good listener. Always value the human relationships, because in my opinion, personally, 30% of our job is a technical one, but 70% is human relationships. So if your human relationships in a good manner, so the job, the technical part will be very easy for you. So, and another advice I can give, always try to learn new things. Don't be static in your profession. So try to learn how your company works, how people work, go along with them, try to listen to them and learn from the past, but always think about the future, what this means. And this means if you make a mistake or if you find a mistake in your company, learn from it and don't try to make another one in the future. And try to use, of course, technology as much as possible. And the final advice I can tell, listen more and talk less.
No, those are, I think, very great takeaway points. I think like some of them sound like should be common sense, but sometimes I think everybody forgets the simple things like that too. So I think I'm gonna get into the last question, which is a little bit more towards our community actually. Do you have any comments on being part of our community? Would you recommend people to be part of communities like this? Because you said, like always learn. And of course, we are trying to share always new information. So could you perhaps also shortly share your experience with it, being in a community and so on?
Sure. I mean, to be a part of community like this gives you a lot, especially not only for learning in a professional way, but also networking. And if your network is getting bigger and bigger, like the communities like this, it can be forums like LinkedIn or any other boards like risk boards or risk community boards like yourself. It gives you a vision and a wider perspective of the world, that you don't stuck with the job you are doing. So your vision will become wider and wider. the community gives you that. And also, you will know a lot of more people. This gives you perspective. This gives you some other experiences because you cannot experience everything. So other people's experience will add value to you, of course. This communities, the advantage of communities is like this.
Yeah, oh, that's a very, I think, nice summary. And as of course, myself, a community manager, I hope that we can provide you guys, valuable content and
Exactly.
some value in general as well. But yeah, from my part, that's all I actually wanted to ask you. Do you have anything else to add? Like anything that you wanted to say to our audience?
I want to thank you for this opportunity at first. But lastly, my last words is internal audit or any risk management job is part of the job in a company like finance manager, like sales manager, like purchasing manager. Any kind of job is similar to internal audit, any risk management job. I mean, we are part of the process. I mean, we are not excluding ourselves in a manner of speaking. I mean, if people think about that, they are on all of them are in the same ship, on the same ship, they will consider as a whole, So my last words would be like that. Try to be human, and human can make mistakes, and we can compensate mistakes all together, all of us together,
Yeah, that's a very, I think, positive note to end. So yeah, once again, then I am very happy to have you being a part of our community and also joining us today. And
thank you very much.
Thank you as well.
Thank you very much. I hope in the future we will have another chat in a certain matter. I love being part of this community also.
Yeah. Thank you. And I wish you a great day. We also love you being
part of this. You too. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.